And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, March 16th. Happy Stone Cold Day, everybody. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down just a 5-game NBA slate. I'm excited for it. Very tame. Not that these past couple days haven't been, but excited for this one. Got up to 24th last night. Not enough to do anything of substance, but had one that was live at the very least. Didn't matter. And then went 2 and 3 on Prize Picks. Missed by the hook on the 3 losses, which is kind of a bummer. I really liked yesterday's card, but gonna have those days. So, 1, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Good morning, guys. Good to see everybody here today. Got a nice coffee here. Slowly but surely feeling a little bit better. Not as congested today. Feel like I'm almost there. One more day, and I think I'll be back to normal. Really been putting down the Gatorade Zeros, trying to take down as much fluid as I possibly can. Beanie Too Faded wants to know why we don't use one of our competitors. That answer should land pretty well. Yeah, last night's slate was certainly a slate. And yeah, I got 3 into the top 1%, so I can't be too mad. I did generate a lineup that would have won the contest, but I generated like 2,500 lineups. It's always nice to know that you had the opportunity to win a contest, but I didn't have it. I did, however, use my second best lineup. That was the one that ended up finishing 24th or 27th or whatever it was. So that was fun. I always like to see that when I go back and reevaluate the next morning. But for today, we got an easy one. We're going to break down 5 games. At that point, I will then get a Prize Picks video out. Then I got to hit the road. Got to go to the dentist. Then I'll be back and should be able to close out with contenders videos and my No House Advantage video. So, well, I don't really have much else. So I'm going to say cheers to you guys. Let's get some coffee in us. Certainly happy to drink this. I've got mine. I hope you guys do as well. It's rise and grind time, baby. Let's get it done. Cheers. Let's get started. Ooh. We're going to take my medicines. I'm liking this 5-game slate. It's kind of ugly. Orlando, Phoenix, though. Interesting late night hammer. Denver, Detroit, on the other hand. Not the most interesting thing I've ever seen. Alrighty, folks, let's get into it. But first, you guys know the drill. It's lineup generator time. We got to talk about it. $4.48. To the people that are watching this, especially anybody that's a regular that hasn't tried it, that like would be interested, just do it at this point. $4.48, 50% off your first week. We make the lineups. We throw out the ones that we think stink. We present everything else to you. Get projections, ownership, optimal rates, generate chalky, contrarian, balanced lineups, export up to 20. If you haven't checked it out yet, guys, this is where you want to be. Make sure you're using the lineup generator. Boom. There we go. So let's dive into it. Game number 1. Oh, I sound so nasally. Nothing I can do, though. We'll work out a sneeze shortly. Hold on. One good sniffle, and we're good. All right, Denver Nuggets. 12.5-point favorites in Detroit. 228 total with a probable tag on Jamal Murray. Unsurprisingly, this one's going to, I would assume this is going to look good for Denver. It rarely does, but this is a Detroit team. You know, they're 15th in pace. Denver's 20th. So it's a little tiny pace bump for Denver, but nothing too crazy. But obviously Detroit just stinks. So at least from a projection standpoint, not a lot of changes to make. I am going to bump Jokic to 35 minutes. Yeah, Thaddeus, I was hoping it was yesterday. Maybe we got the days wrong. Let's hope it's today. Appreciate you. Let's look at the rest of this. So, did Reggie Jackson get a DNP CD on Tuesday? Because he should have. Certainly should have. Now let's double check it. Because they shouldn't be playing him. He doesn't appear to be good. Yeah, DNP CD. They're going back to Christian Braun. I like that. They also went to Thomas Bryant. When did those guys check in? Is that a real rotation? Yes, Thomas Bryant got a real first quarter rotation. So now we need to have that conversation. So I'm taking everybody out that isn't a starter, and we're going to re-project this team. 34 minutes from Murray. I'm going to go to 35. Ah, man, that's a tight squeeze. Now I'm going to go 35 there for Jokic, 34 for Murray. That feels more correct. Mark, yes, quite a bit, actually. Still got a little pressure in the head, but it's night and day compared to Monday. 32 for KCP. I'm actually going to make 33. 29 for MPJ. I'm actually going to keep. 29 for Aaron Gordon. I'm going to make 30. And then Bruce Brown can stay at 24. So then now, so they didn't run the Jamal Murray stagger in the first half. They did run it in the second half and just sort of put the game away. So I guess technically Bruce Brown ran the point. Oh, no, they did run the Jamal Murray stagger. What am I saying? I can't even read. Okay, so they went Jamal Murray bench unit, which, didn't go well because they got smacked by the Raptors. We'll see what they end up doing there. But I guess we're going to bump Bruce. Who's playing point when Jamal Murray's not out there? Well, I guess Jamal Murray played 40 of the first 42 minutes. So, I mean, technically it's Jokic anyway, so who cares? It's all about who can guard a one, which I guess is Christian Braun. We'll give him those 14 minutes because that's really what we're talking about. Who guards the ones? It's probably KCP too. Oh, I can feel the sneeze coming now. Just about there. It's right. It's in the tip of my nose. I just need to. When it comes, it's going to come quick. You can hear it in my voice. How do you force a sneeze? I need like pepper. All right, so I'm going to give Thomas Bryant another rotation at the 5. And then I'm going to assume that Jeff Green handles the rest of it. Jonchar didn't really play. I still have 14 minutes left over. Where are those minutes supposed to go? Because I can't go any higher on Murray. I can't go higher on Jokic or any of those real guys. So maybe 2 more minutes to Christian Braun. That gets him to 16. I don't think they're going to play Reggie Jackson. I really don't. But there's 12 minutes left over for this team somewhere. Is it more likely to be Jonchar? It probably is. At this point, at least. So let's do something like that. Rates can stay the same, but I feel like I should pull them. But it's just like Denver's lineup just never changes. It just never, ever, ever changes. So we're going to hold it. Then we're going to go to Detroit, and I'm going to hate myself for looking at whatever this is. Jaden Ivey's probable. No Boyan, no Bagley, no Livers, no Burks. Okay. So we're going to get Killian Hayes starting. That much we know. Jaden Ivey's missed the last 3, but I assume he's starting. Let's see. Pistons last time out were on Tuesday. That was a loss to Washington. Wiseman played so much. Is that foul trouble for Duren? Yep, picked up 3 fouls in a crisp 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Gotta love that. I'm going to assume we're getting 28 minutes out of Wiseman, 27 minutes out of Wiseman, and 21 Duren. Probably won't matter all that much. I'm guessing we get Omarui starting again. I'm guessing it's Magruder Omarui. Does that make the most sense? Yeah, I think so. Rise and grind, Jerome. So we'll get Magruder out there for another 31. We'll get Omarui out there for 28. Okay, we're making progress. Making progress. So then we need Corey Joseph minutes. And he's been playing about 30 a night. Now, that is without Ivy. So I guess, but now Diallo's gone and Livers is gone. I think 28 for Corey Joseph makes some sense. If I have some extra, because I've only got Buddy Boeheim, RJ Hampton, and Roden after that. So I'm going to go 28 Corey Joseph. Hampton started the last time out, played 27. Feels like, something in that 22 range is going to make the most sense here. That leaves me 21. They appear to like Buddy Boeheim more than they like Jared Roden. That said, I'm just going to go 15 to Boeheim, 6 to Roden. We're not playing either of those guys either way. We do need to get rates back out there for Jaden Ivey. And I need more coffee. I only took a sip, basically. RJ Hampton revenge. Damn. I forgot that he was with the Nuggets. Then went to Orlando, right? Okay. Let's grab these rates for Detroit. So it's Cade off. Boyan off. Burks off. Bay off. I guess I should probably get Diallo too. Those 5 should leave me a decent enough sample to get an idea of some of these guys. So in this case, Killian Hayes has played 158 minutes. Goes to a 25% usage rate. Let's work our way down. Corey Joseph has played the most minutes with those guys off the floor. 17.5% usage rate. Omarui. I see his name. There it is. 19% usage rate, so he doesn't change. Jaden Ivey. Only played 100 minutes in that scenario, but he goes up to 35% usage. Can't go that high, obviously. But, something in that 31 range makes some sense. Duren goes to 21. Again, I can't totally trust that. Oh, man. Part of me, what happens if I leave Diallo? If I get rid of, change that filter to Boyan, Sadiq Bey, and Cade off. And then if I make Burks and Diallo at least one of them off, might make the sample a little bit bigger. I know that's going to bring in a little bit too much Burks, but I think increasing the sample a little bit there is helpful. S&P, it's rough, man. Talking about this Pistons team is hard because it matters. Especially on this 5-game slate, I got to be right about what I'm putting in. This isn't like some 10-gamer where you can hand wave most of the team. Getting this stuff right is really, I could hear it in my voice, making me more boring. It's not fun. Yeah, I got to give Jalen Duren like a pretty sizable usage bump here. Wiseman, 22% usage rate. Killian Hayes, that's the biggie. 24, 23 and a half, something like that. And then Magruder, I assume, does very little. Yeah, 14 and a half. But no real changes there. It did project enough usage, so it is pulling people down at least. Assist rates matter as well. Killian Hayes just, big time assist rate. We will give that a bump. Corey Joseph stays the same. Does Ivy do anything? I'm going to mostly keep that the same. I don't trust it. Wiseman rebounding, no changes. Okay, so we're done this first game. I'm very intrigued by what it's going to look like. Okay, so for the Pistons, it's Ivy and Hayes. You can go either direction. I actually have Ivy slightly ahead of Hayes. It's that usage bump. It's really, do you trust it? Which reminds me, I want to check Jaden Ivey's shooting rates when he's out there in these scenarios, because I bet it's down quite a bit. Ivy in 197 minutes is 45% from 2. So I'm going to take him down 1% there. And then from 3, he's shooting 30.5%. So we're going to take that down as well. Because when there's less talent out there, you got to create more awful shots. So now I have Hayes slightly ahead of Ivy, but Ivy has the MPE, so it'll be pretty close. I honestly think Corey Joseph might be the third best option from the Pistons. They don't look great. Like, Wiseman's already 6,900. Duren's 5,200. Denver's not a great matchup. Pistons are huge dogs. I don't see a lot to like here for Detroit. Denver, on the other hand, I like paying up 11.6 for Jokic. He looks better today than he normally does for me. Murray at 7,700 looks good. 30 minutes of Aaron Gordon at 6,200 looks pretty good. Fantasy point per minute. Great matchup for him, too. You can roster KCP, MPJ, and Bruce Brown. Very interesting first game considering the massive line. Let's go to Sacramento now. Kings, 2-point dogs in Brooklyn, 237 total. Kings on the back-to-back. Not really anything here to add. We get Trey Lyles back. He had to sit out yesterday. So this should be a pretty easy fix. Yeah, so do I. S&P, I want to say the same, but I only hope Jokic Hulk smashes if I have him. So there's that. All right, I got 35 for Fox. I'm going to go to 34. I got 35 for Sabonis. I'm going to go to 36. And then Keegan Murray got up to 30 minutes with no Lyles. I'm going to say it's 27-21 for those guys now. I got 35 for the Barnacle of the Bay, 28 for Kevin Huerter, 21 for Monk. Feels about right. Which leaves me 12 minutes for Kessler Edwards. Best I can do. Sorry, Kessler. We got to get Trey Lyles a rate. I don't know why I deleted that. I guess maybe I didn't. So Barnes, Sabonis, Fox, Huerter, Murray starting. Man, I hope this team gets a good draw in the playoffs and just gets smacked. I don't want to hear anybody talk about them. I really just want them to get eviscerated in the playoffs. Where do they project right now? Speaking of the playoffs, my Pistons-Cavs bet, Pistons-Cavs. My Sixers-Cavs bet is looking pretty good for me right now. Jerome, he's probable for today. Oh, man, that coffee is legit hitting the spot today. Come on, B-Ball Index. You got this. Come on. Nope. I hit the button at the last second, right before it refreshed itself. So annoying. Nobody to blame but myself, but still. All right, playoffs. What are we seeing right now? All right, in the East, Philly is projected a game and a half ahead of Cleveland. That's going to get me a nice bottle. Thanks to Roboshua on that one. So I'm excited there. The West to me is more interesting. Sacramento projected for the 3 seed. Seems pretty firm there, 59% right now, which would have them playing Golden State in the first round based on these projections. And let me tell you what, Golden State is going to smack the Kings in the playoffs if they play. And if Wiggins happens to be back, it's going to be an even more brutal beating. So be ready for that. If it's the Clippers, which is technically the other option, if Golden State gets up to the 5 spot, which give me Golden State, Phoenix, by the way, the Clippers would just truly eviscerate the Kings as well. Yeah, like S&P, that's the thing. If Minnesota does something to get to Sacramento, then Sacramento is going to make the second round because they'll beat Minnesota. But they can't beat Golden State in a playoff series if everybody's healthy. It's going to be fun to see. All right. Let me finish off these rates here quickly for Sacramento. So I just need to grab a Lyles usage rate, which apparently is 20.5 off the bench. Monk is... all of these should be the same. Yeah. None of these have changed all that dramatically. 21.5 for Sabonis, 29.5 for Fox. Yeah, we are right where we need to be. Assist rates, I do want to make sure I have right for Sabonis, which I do, and Fox, which I do. So Kings are done. Tough matchup against Brooklyn for probably Fox, I would guess. So now we go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn Nets. Everybody's available except for Simmons. They played Tuesday. Just really jammed in these starters. These guys are just playing massive minutes. All right, so we're going to 36 now on Dinwiddie. Delete everybody that isn't a starter. We go 36 to Dinwiddie. We got 38 minutes out of Claxton. It appears that's what they're trying to do here. I'm going to go to 31 now on Claxton. We got 34 minutes out of Dorian Finney-Smith. That's about what he's played over these past few games. I'm going to take him to 33. We got Cam Johnson in for 39 minutes. He's basically playing like 33 a game as well. You know, if we throw out that 24-minute game that was a little different, averaging 33. We didn't get Nerlens Noel at center, so they went back to the Dorian Finney-Smith, I guess, straight backup center run. So they are going just straight 5 out. So Brooklyn is basically Oklahoma City in that regard. Just completely eschewing playing a center when Claxton's not on the floor. Interesting enough, they played OKC the last time out. I wonder if they play Nerlens Noel just because of Sabonis. We'll see where the minutes end up lying. Yeah, like when Claxton was off, it was Curry, O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dinwiddie, Bridges. Fair enough. We got limited minutes out of Royce O'Neal, which I think was interesting. Didn't play again in the fourth quarter. Minutes have been all over the place. Feels like something like 24 makes the most sense. Curry seems pretty firm at like 18 at this point. Joe Harris seems pretty firm around like 12. That leaves me so many minutes. That's what's really crazy here. I have 17 minutes left over for these guys because you just can't project everybody for 36. So Ty Lue's usually just like a little late to make those changes, but he'll make those changes in the playoffs. So I could see them going down, or it being like a 1-1 series, and then in game 3 he like stopped playing those idiots. Yeah, what do I do with these minutes? Because like they don't seem to want to play Cam Thomas. I think we get a rotation of Nerlens Noel. When you have a center like Sabonis on the opposite side, you probably don't screw around too much. I mean, you want to pull him out on D, but Sabonis will punish somebody else in the paint. So if I go 8 there, then I can go 9 to Cam Thomas. Rates don't have to change. I know those have been updated. So game 2. Wow. Yo. Okay. We're loading up on Brooklyn today. $6,300 Cam Johnson is projecting quite well at 33 minutes. Similarly, Claxton looks great at 6,600. Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges. I want all of the starters for Brooklyn. And then I'm willing to roll the dice a little bit on Seth Curry at 3,300 coming off the bench. But I might need to look at rates quickly for Brooklyn. I want to know if Seth Curry's usage is where I have it. So if I just say games where Mikal Bridges has played, that's enough sample for me right here. Actually, I'm going to say it as Dinwiddie so I don't get that stupid game where they only played like half of where Bridges only played 12 minutes. Yeah, like if you're going to have Sabonis at the 5, you need your 4 to be basically like the best rim protector in the league. And they're not going to have that. I don't think there's any way to patch over that. All right, Curry with Dinwiddie's playing has a 20% usage rate. So I do need to lock that in a little bit. Dinwiddie's usage rate is actually up slightly. Bridges, I'm going to bump up a little bit as well. Claxton, since Dinwiddie's there, is just the same guy. Royce O'Neal is mostly the same guy. Dorian Finney-Smith, same guy. Cam Johnson, mostly the same guy. Yeah, we're letting it rip on Brooklyn today, folks. All 5 starters, priorities. Real, legitimate priorities. And like in general, I'll probably only have 3 of those 5. On the Sacramento end, not much to like here. They look like a half step below Brooklyn. I think the Barnacle is my preferred option at 5,100. I like Keegan for 4,100. I like Trey Lyles for 4K, power forward center. I would probably try not to play Trey Lyles and Keegan Murray together. Not that they can't both have good days, but they don't. That's not really how they're playing right now. Sabonis and Fox are both fine too. Great game. Great game to target. Really, really like that one. So then we go OKC, Toronto. Thunder, 6-point dogs in Toronto. I assume we're getting Shea. I'm guessing he would want to be in this game. Yeah, everybody's available. Everybody here available for OKC. 87 people. What's with the light crowd? We had 200 plus on Monday. Really starting to dwindle this NBA week. Only got the core here. Kind of makes it better. If you guys have any questions, hit me with them. Let's look at the Thunder. So we got 35 minutes in for Shea. I can't go to 36, even though I should. We'll see what he looks like. Because his price was broken that last slate. So it's possible we're getting there again. 26 for Joe. It's fine. I got 23 for Jalen Williams. I'm going to go 22. Usman Jang. Make him 18. Sarge I got for 16. That's not it either. 34 for Jalen Williams. I'm going to make 35. Aaron Wiggins played lighter minutes. Who played? I guess we got a bunch more Lindy Waters. Oh, yeah, he started the second half. I remember seeing that. Not much here we need to go over at this point. Dort for 31. I guess I'll make 32 and 32 for Dort and Giddey. Who's the one player I would play in the 1060 single entry? Whoever the best player is. So far, that answer is probably Cam Johnson. Big sneeze there. Big sneeze. Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton would be the first two. They're the two best options that I've seen so far. Or paying up for Jokic. Big sneeze there, guys. Whew. All right, so that's going to be OKC. I don't have to rate changes or anything. It's the same team. And they didn't look all that great when I just accidentally saw it. So then we go to Toronto. Everybody available for Toronto as well. The playoffs are going to be so awesome this year. All right, I don't have any changes here. 37 Van Vliet, 37 Siakam, 35 Barnes, 36 Anunoby, 29 Pirtle, 24 Trent. No one else matters. So as we look at Toronto, okay. So Toronto looks just like Brooklyn. $8,400 Siakam. I'm going to have him in everything today. I can just tell. I guess let's take a quick peek. But like, his rates are clearly down a little bit since they got Jakob Poeltl. So if I just take the games where Jakob Poeltl has played for Toronto, it's 13 games. Siakam's got a 25% usage rate in that time. So I'm going to knock that down a little bit. These guys are still going to look great. Barnes can stay there. Anunoby can stay there. Jakob Poeltl bump up. Trent now can stay, and then Van Vliet can stay. But the rebounding rate for Siakam is down. But I've handled that already. Anunoby's is down pretty dramatically. Barnes down too. Yeah, Barnes is down pretty dramatically. Which makes sense. I mean, now you have Jakob Poeltl patrolling the paint. That's going to happen. But even still, this team looks good. Siakam unquestionably is the guy that I want the most from Toronto today. I will live and die on that one. And then, I mean, Trent down to 4,300 is interesting. Trent, Poeltl, Barnes, Anunoby, Van Vliet, I think all look basically the same relative to salary, but they all look good. Really like getting to Toronto. You got to remember, OKC is a great matchup from a pace perspective. And then on OKC, 9,600 for Shea is a really nice price tag. No real other priorities here for OKC. As we look at it through the first 3 games now, I think there's a very clear top 5 plays Claxton, Cam Johnson, Siakam, Dinwiddie, and Bridges. So 4 Brooklyn Nets plus Siakam. You can just pretty safely drop one of those guys and pick up like SGA, Jokic, or Sabonis as another pay up if you need it too. Like I don't hate the idea of dropping Bridges for the upside of Shea. But that's where we stand so far. I didn't realize that we had more pay-ups on this one. About to talk Giannis, I guess. Indiana Pacers, 13.5-point dogs in Milwaukee. Q-tag on Halliburton, Hield, Turner, and McConnell. No Mathurin or Duarte. Fun stuff here for Indy. So, all right, if Halliburton's questionable, we have to assume that he is in, at which point I'm giving him 35 minutes. And then, I mean, I guess we're assuming it's their normal starting lineup, right? Nembhard, Hield, Nesmith, Turner. That's really all that we can do. So we're going to get Nembhard in for, what, 26, 25? I mean, it always should have been Mobley, if that helps, Mark. All right, we get Miles Turner out there for 30. We get Aaron Nesmith out there for 26. And then we get Buddy Hield for 29, 30 probably. McConnell questionable as well. We get him out there for his backup run. We assume the backup center is Jalen Smith, I guess. I mean, this is awful. I guess we get like 22 minutes out of Jordan Nwora. I mean, I feel like it's just going to be Jalen. I mean, they split. The last time they played, Turner, Smith. So they did play. Oh, wait, did that go to OT? It did. Okay, so the last time that Turner played, they did maintain the same rotation. Who came off the bench first on that day? Went to OT against Houston. Isaiah Jackson was the backup. And then they went to Smith. So I'm going to go to Jackson, I guess, for the backup center run. I think Cade's going to end up looking good. Green, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. Barnes is interesting. Suggs has been bad. Although I think Suggs has been better as of late. Maybe I'm wrong. No, not really. He's just been like kind of meh. Barnes has been up and down. And then Jalen Green, I assume, has just been bad. Yeah, just bad. All right, let's finish off this Indy rotation before I get sidetracked again. So we still need Duarte and question mark? O'Shea Brissett, maybe? So when everybody was in, we were getting like 22-ish minutes out of Duarte. It's weird. Is the assumption that he's not going to play today? Oh, he's out. Never mind. No Duarte. I'm stupid. Can't read. Left ankle soreness. Already not playing. So that opens things up a little bit. That makes me feel pretty firm about like 18 minutes to O'Shea Brissett. But then where are the rest of these minutes going? I guess we can bump up TJ McConnell, get him to like 20. That still leaves me 16. They're just going to play Jalen Smith at the 4. No, they're not, right? they're not going to play Jalen Smith at the 4. They have not shown that they want to play those guys alongside of each other for anything real. Is it going to be James Johnson getting minutes? I don't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't trust this team. I don't know where these final 16 minutes go. I really, really don't. Because I don't think they're going to play. I mean, maybe they go back to Jalen Smith at the 4. It just doesn't seem all that likely. Give them the 16 minutes. We'll see. Definitely have to grab rates. I mean, this whole team is with Halliburton out. So we're going to say Indy. We're going to say Miles Turner played, Buddy Hield played, and Tyrese Halliburton played. And we're going to say Benedict Mathurin off. That should be a decent sample. Chris, I would never use the ceiling or floor projections. I would only use Stokastic projection. All right, let's start with usage. Halliburton. We're going to go from the bottom to top. Halliburton is at just shy of 23. TJ McConnell, 144 minutes, around 18. Good to know. Turner, 822 minutes, 22 and a half. Jordan Nwora, cannot have a big sample here. Does get a bit of a usage bump off the bench. Isaiah Jackson, another bench guy. 96 minutes, no changes. Buddy Hield, 919 minutes, 22.5% usage rate. And then finally, Nesmith is at 17. I'm guessing assist rate won't matter here. In theory, I could bump up Halliburton. And I will. McConnell probably goes up a little. No, his doesn't move. Nobody else really getting any assists. Rebounding rate for Turner, probably the only thing that matters. Actually does go up. All right, so that's what we're going to have for Indy. Terrible spot here against Milwaukee. For the Bucks, no Grayson Allen. Middleton available. We don't know the status on Brook Lopez. Crowder in, Dragic questionable. So let's start this team from scratch as well. Since we got time, folks, where we got to be. I mean, I've got places to be, but whatever. 34 minutes for Drew. I assume we're getting Javon Carter, Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez for right now. So we also get Brook Lopez out there for 32. We get Giannis out there for 33. I'm going to take a minute away from Drew as well. I think the expectation is 1 minute less than I would really want to give these guys because of the matchup. We get Middleton, 32. And then Javon Carter, I don't know, 24. Doesn't really matter. Now, for the rest of this team, we get Bobby Portis, backup plus a couple extra. And that's fine. We get Jay Crowder, something that like 18 range. That's fine. We get Joe Ingles. He seems pretty established around like 26. That leaves me 22 minutes, probably for Pat Connaughton. Done. Simple. Need rates, though, unfortunately. So we're going games where Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis all played. Although I would not expect George Hill to play today. Drew Holiday, 23% usage when these guys are all in. Middleton, 26.5. Ingles. 10? Yeah, 10. Wait. Javon Carter. 14. Giannis. 39. Giannis is going to be a problem today, I think, because he's going to look. I think he's going to look better than Jokic, and that's going to be very scary. Brooke Lopez should be at 17, and then Bobby Portis is at 21. This is going to be very interesting for Milwaukee. Very, very interesting. I'm afraid to type this in. Here we go. Milwaukee. Yeah, we're going to Giannis. Giannis is the number one guy today. If we're circling back to that, who's the one guy I would play in whatever? It's Giannis. Giannis at 12K, power forward center, the number one play for today. Not close. Very clearly ahead of every other pay-up option. Very clearly ahead of Jokic. I got him at 1.86 fantasy points per minute in this spot. He should be in a great, great, great opportunity. Javon Carter looks okay as a value. Holiday, Lopez, Middleton, fine. Indy, if they're at full strength, I don't mind getting to Halliburton, Hield, or Turner. That's it. Maybe we get more value if guys get ruled out. Like if we end up getting rid of Turner, then Jackson's 5,400, Jalen Smith's 5,100. We can have a conversation about those guys. But for now, it's really just the pay-ups, Halliburton, Hield, Turner. But we want all of the Giannis. No question about it today. You're going to see him. You'll see it now. Oh, I actually don't have this right. I really need to update this calculation in this table to make it stop being wrong. Pivot table, calculated field. There we go. Yeah. Now we're talking. 12K for Giannis. In that top tier of plays, but raw point ceiling, it's 100% Giannis today. Get all of the Giannis that you can. Let's close it out. Final game. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Orlando Magic, 7.5-point dogs in Phoenix, 228 total for Orlando. Q-tag on Gary Harris. Otherwise, everybody else is available. Not going to have big changes here. We got Fultz for 32 minutes. We've got Cole Anthony for 25. That appears to just continue to be higher. We're going to take him up to 27. That's probably going to – I'm going to hate that. 26 for Gary Harris is fine. 27 for Gary Harris is fine. 26 for Jalen Suggs is fine. 15 for Bol. 34 for Paolo. 32 for Franz, 30 for Wendell Carter, 17 for Mo Wagner. I like it all. No changes for Orlando here. That's easy. If we get no Gary Harris, that's actually going to matter. And then finally, we close it out with Phoenix. Okogie in, Torrey Craig in, no Durant, no Landry Shamet. Same Phoenix rotation that we just had as well. I'm actually going to look at Phoenix rates for a second. If we say Mikal Bridges, we're going to say Durant off, Bridges off. And then we're going to say games where Chris Paul, Booker, and Ayton all started. I want to see how big that sample is. These minutes all look weird. So 33 for Paul, sure. 15 for Campaign, whatever. 33 for Ayton. We'll make it 32. We'll split between Biyombo and Landale. 27 for Craig. Yeah. 19 for Terrence Ross. So we saw Ross's minutes get cut pretty sizably. They started slowly working TJ Warren back in, which is a thing. Damian Lee didn't play, so then they went to more-ish Wainwright. I guess we want to take that down to like 8. Bump him up 2. We'll take Ross down a bit. We'll give Warren some minutes. I do want to look at these rates quickly. All right, so Booker's played 400 minutes with Durant and Bridges off in games where Paul and Ayton have started with him. Booker's got a 32% usage rate there, so I don't have any changes to make. Okogie in that scenario, I'm going to bring down a half hook. Torrey Craig, I'm going to bring down quite a bit as well. Ayton is at 22% usage, and then Chris Paul is at 20. So all of that looks fine. Cam Payne does have the big 29%er, so that's fine. Assist rate, bump up Booker. We'll cut Okogie. Chris Paul's is massive. Sheesh. And then Ayton rebounds. 11.5. That'll work. All right, so that's going to be Phoenix. Final game. Love Phoenix. This is a great slate. There are a lot of really, really good plays. Unfortunately, it might be too many. But Booker, Paul, Ayton, Okogie, Craig, Cam Payne for 3,400 off the bench. That's a thing today. Absolutely love Phoenix, especially the starters. Very interesting dynamic today. On the Orlando end, not a lot of priorities. They just can't, they don't look anywhere near as good as Phoenix. But you can get to Fultz, Anthony, Carter, Banchero, Wagner. Wow. This is a great slate. Great slate. I like this a lot right now. We'll see if Indiana ruins it somehow. Let's run some crunches and see where we stand. So let's get to FanDuel. Let's see where we're at. I'm really excited for this. 8-game welcome. Little late, but it's fine. All right, FanDuel optimals. From what I understand, KD is essentially fine. There was a report that came out that he would be playing right now if it were the playoffs. So, not something I'm too worried about. Look, he's the most malleable superstar that's ever existed. All right, FanDuel optimal. 298.08. This is the optimal by 0.54. Josh Giddey, Isaiah Joe, Gary Trent. That's not the way that I thought this was going to start. So much different on DK. Giddey, Joe, Trent, Ivy, Okogie, Bridges, Siakam, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton. I'm not going to lie. I don't love that lineup on FanDuel. So I'm excited to get rid of FanDuel so we can talk about DraftKings. Looking like my number one guy is going to be Cam Johnson here. Yeah, Cam Johnson at the top. Josh Okogie close. Harrison Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Torrey Craig. Then you get Killian Hayes, Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, me scrolling, Isaiah Joe, and Gary Trent. FanDuel's gross. FanDuel's ultra gross. What does DraftKings look like? I expect to see Giannis, but we could get like a balanced multiple pay-up scenario. But if we're getting a pay-up, it's Giannis for sure. There's no doubt about that. No chance of Jokic, actually. All right, here we go. Optimals on DraftKings. Yeah, so it is the multiple pay-ups that I was expecting. Dinwiddie, Bridges, Cam Johnson, Trey Lyles, Nick Claxton, Cam Payne, Siakam, and Okogie. 272.9. It's the optimal by 0.41. It's just all of Sacramento and Brooklyn. But I think that we're going to now see Giannis pop up outside of these optimal lineups. Maybe. Or not. Or not, which I don't like. I want to be clear here. I like Giannis way more than what this is showing. Way more. I'm going to run a crunch after this and see what I'm actually getting because this feels weird. Top of the heap is Cam Johnson. Top of the heap is Cam Johnson. Then Nick Claxton, Josh Okogie, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent. Gary Trent being an interesting value play at 4,300 is... I mean, I get it. If he's hot, like there are minutes. Johnson, Claxton, Okogie, Siakam, Trent, Dinwiddie, Barnes, DFS, Chris Paul, Harry B. Fascinating. So what's the best Giannis lineup that I generated there? Highest point lineup that I generated was 266. What was the optimal? 272. What's the best Giannis lineup? There we go. Payne. Oh my God. Okay. This is a fun slate. This is a really fun slate. Whoo. This is going to be a good one. I assume Giannis is the guy that I pay up for the most. I would not be surprised if I end up with a ton by the time we get to lock. Because he is the best play today. Love him. It just doesn't take much today. I mean, if you get 65 out of Giannis, you're okay at 12K, assuming that Jokic doesn't beat him. Like, Giannis has to beat Jokic, but if you get 65 or more out of Giannis, you need him today. Love it. He's been nuking as of late as well. Hung 70 on Indy in January. 16 of 29 from the field, 41 real points. Love Giannis today. I don't care what showed up here. I want Giannis. I think that's the path to victory. Guys, that's going to be it. We done here. Another one in the books. Boom. We got it. Thank you for being here, folks. One more tomorrow, closing it out. I think it's like 8 or 9 games. So we'll have a big one. I am getting back to the gym tomorrow, so we're going to have a slightly abridged version in the morning, but we'll be able to go for like a full hour. It'll be quick. We know rotations. That's all I got. Thank you guys for joining me. Hit the like button on your way out the door. I'll be on the deeper dive later tonight with Adam. Look for the rest of my pre-recorded videos on this channel and on our Odd Shopper channel. Good luck tonight, everybody. I'll talk to you later. This was The Process.